Hello, everyone. Today we're going to discuss the progressive and the conservative parties that we have in the United States by Curtis Yarvin, or he uses the other name, which is Munches Moldbugg, which I can't really pronounce it as the way it should be, but that's his second name. With that, I'll turn the subject to my grandson, Tristan. Go ahead, Tristan.
All right, thank you. So before we start off, I want to say that all of this information is being pulled from Curtis Yarvin's book or essay or whatever you want to call it, in a letter to open-minded progressives, which was recommended to me. So thank you for the person that recommended that. Anyway, Curtis Yarvin, he starts off the book by essentially addressing the view that both parties, both the Republican and Democratic parties in the United States, are the same, or at least they have the same essence. And essentially what he does to try to prove this, he starts off his proof of this by saying that, okay, in order for a political organization or a political party or political movement to survive, it needs to have followers, it needs to have supporters, it needs to have people that'll fund it and support it and believe in their cause and believe in their movement in order for the political organization in question to survive. Because obviously if a political organization didn't have supporters or followers or people that funded it or whatever, it would go under pretty fast. So in order for a political organization to survive, it needs to have followers and supporters. So that's pretty simple. But Curtis Yarvin, he uses this, kind of obvious fact and he branches it off. He branches off into the media with it. He says that, let's say progressive and conservative media, let's, compare these two. So if you're a progressive, Curtis Yarvin says that you must necessarily believe that conservatives are misguided. And if you're a conservative, it's vice versa. You must believe that progressives are misguided. And you get your information from news sources if you're a conservative, such as like Fox News. And if you're a progressive, you get your, information from news sources such as like CNN, right? Now, Curtis Yarvin, he kind of applies this political organization rule that all political organizations need followers to survive to these media outlets that disseminate information to their followers. Basically, Curtis Yarvin says that media outlets also follow this rule. They want to keep as many followers and supporters as possible. And they don't necessarily have to tell the truth. They don't necessarily want to tell the truth in some situations because telling the truth in some situations would lead to alienating some of their followers and some of their followers, stopping their support of them or stopping, watching a certain news outlet, etc. So sometimes it wouldn't be in the interest of a political organization or a news outlet's survival to tell the truth. And sometimes it would be in their interest to tell a lie or lie to their followers to retain or gain more followers. So essentially, Curtis Yarvin says that political organizations, they don't have a relationship to truth. They don't have a consistent relationship to truth because their main goal is survival. Their main goal is keeping themselves alive. And they'll tell a lie, if it means that they're going to survive for a little bit longer, right? So essentially, their relationship to truth and what is real and factual and true, it depends solely on whether or not, telling the truth or telling a lie would retain or gain more followers and ensure their survival for a longer period of time. So from this, Curtis Yarvin says that both political parties are the same in the sense that they don't have a consistent relationship to reality because both of their main goals are retaining and keeping
Existence.
is survival and retaining and gaining more followers and supporters. So that would pretty much wrap up the first part of the subject. We're going to continue.
I'm going to add now the Progressive Party lean toward the Secretary of, more like Secretary, I believe, the state, and the other one, which is the Republican, goes toward the
Pentagon, I
Pentagon,
believe. That was Curtis Yarvin's view.
Yeah.
He also added in this first chapter that conservatives tend to lean, and this is in the sense of foreign policy, conservatives tend to lean more in the sense towards supporting the foreign policy propagated by the Pentagon, whereas, conservatives oppose the foreign policy proposed by the State Department. And progressives are kind of vice versa. They're kind of the reverse. So progressives tend to hate and oppose the foreign policy propagated by the Pentagon and love and support and cherish the foreign policy propagated by the State Department. And this will kind of lead into a further idea that Curtis Yarvin will talk about, and we'll talk about that in our next video on this series. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.